Excellent.
Hang on.
That seems a little bit different to usual.
Gonna try again.
Fuck, I didn't realise my cam was on.
Hey!
Yay! Merry Christmas!
Oh, this old software, eh? Terrible.
Oh, fun.
Hello. Are we all here? Good. Sorted. Hello,
No one
welcome
noticed.
to the Ideal Home Show, episode 160. It's the Christmas special. We thought we would dress down for the occasion, and all that. On tonight's show, we don't know. Just to fill you in.
Nobody knows.
Oh, is it?
I know.
Rick knows.
Yeah,
Rick's
Rick
invited
knows.
some people on the show. We'll just carry on as norm for a bit, and then presumably someone will pop up, and we'll just talk to them instead, and we'll just go from there.
They're more interested in us anyway, aren't they? Let's face it.
Lots and lots of people potentially coming on, but we don't know for sure, so we'll just roll with it and have a laugh and all that good stuff. So we'll just get into it. Sorry about the false start. I've forgotten how to use this old stuff. For those wanting to know, I had the okay. So James, how has your week been? What are you vaping? What are you drinking? What's your current TV box set? And what does Christmas mean to you?
Okay, what does Christmas mean to me? Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, and good evening to all the non-gender specific home persons out there watching. And Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! I love Christmas. This week has been a good week. Been a busy week. Busy week. Oh man, exhausting week. Absolutely exhausting week. I've been watching the Harry Potters on bear with us. I've been watching the Harry Potters on Blu-ray. Isn't Blu-ray exhausting? You got to get up and then press the button, and then it comes out, and you got to put a new one in.
Oh.
Good, and you know, to compound matters. The other day, I used chip and pin. And God, press the button. Good grief! It's been absolutely exhausting week.
Riyadh just appeared.
Yeah.
First in Russian. Keep quiet for a minute, Riyadh.
Yeah, he's first in there. Look at him. God, gorgeous. Yes, so it's been exhausting week. I am vaping on the Delta with a dwarf on top and a Hellfire barrel on top of there. And in there is Turk, and it's delicious. I've also got the E7 from Sunbox, the classic, with a Vita V2 and a whistle on top of there. And in there is Tobacco Crunch. I am drinking. I'm just about to open a cup for a couple of little Amstels on the go. And what does Christmas mean to me? That's a good question.
Jesus, baby Jesus.
Yeah, well, not so much of the baby. You know what it is for me. I'm going to be. Well, I've got a serious answer, a reasonably serious answer. It's about giving, and it's about family, isn't it? That's what I like about Christmas. This year I'm so excited to give my gifts. I'm not bothered about anything that I receive. I'm so excited. I've got I've got 8 Nerf guns from my son. He wanted Nerf guns. I bought him Nerf guns. Oh, I can't wait. I nearly bought him them before he was even born. I know you cannot do that. And I think I've just nailed all my. I cannot wait to give me gifts this year. So that's what Christmas means to me. It means family and giving. Was that it? But yeah. vape. Aye, that's probably it. That's
Telly?
probably it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
sorry,
Harry
yours.
Potter.
Sure.
All good. Riyadh's here. Should say hi to him.
Riyadh!
Isn't it, Riyadh?
Hi guys, Rick said dress up for the evening. I didn't realise that's what he meant.
Fuck it. I didn't even notice what he's got on your head.
Oh, yeah. No, it was John that messaged me. He said, I haven't spammed enough in the groups. Make sure you bring just add that cat.
Are you a wise man, Riyadh?
I am. I'm the wisest of wise. However, back in Jesus' time, I failed to believe there was only 3.
You look like a really angry Burger King worker.
You look like someone who's got a rotten cold and has been crouched over a bowl of hot water and some Vicks.
Or just
It's a
shit
blanket. It's the closest thing to hand. Sorry, guys.
I like it.
How far away is that house across the street, Riyadh?
What house across the street?
The one with the pink roof?
What?
Look behind you, you clown.
You've got a house behind you, but it looks really far away.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that's our spare bedroom.
Nice, very nice. Are you well?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you very much.
What does Christmas mean to you?
Fucking 420-mile drive. That's what it means.
Are you coming down the West Country?
I'm going back down to Dorset for the week, and then coming
West
back.
Country, Dorset?
No,
Yeah.
no,
That West.
They all talk like that.
South, just south then.
borderline.
Yeah.
Just to the east. A little bit more. But yeah, no, I'm brilliant. I just thought I'd get in early so I can just disappear and watch the rest of the show without...
Oh, nice to see you. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Oh,
You went.
don't do that. It's not fun.
I'll come back in a minute.
Oh,
Look,
really?
we've got another guest here. Look.
He's hiding.
It's Todd's dog.
TJ. TJ.
Hello. Ah, it's good. How do we know?
TJ. Hello. No dog biscuits.
You're a biscuit.
How well can he hear us? Walkies?
Can you hear?
No.
Cats.
TJ,
Cats. Get those cats. Go on.
I think you can hear us.
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Well, just,
Hey!
He's there.
I don't know. I think
This
he's
is
looking
better,
at
isn't it? Why is there not just a live? There probably is a live YouTube dog.
Well, TJ did a live show the other day, and it got more views than Mark usually does.
He unwrapped a present, didn't he? I saw that.
That's
Yeah,
how it was good.
it was the best one I've seen for a long time.
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
You can unmute him. You have the power, Rich. You have the power.
He's done it.
He just
Hello.
he got 2 more views than me. That was it. Just 2.
He won't let it go though, will he?
He wouldn't. No, that's it. I'm the #1 reviewer in a shed now.
Yeah.
You know.
Like a dog with a bone.
How are you all?
Good, thanks for coming on, Mark.
Oh, what a lovely surprise. I see you've got just that Nick glass. Look at that. Spamming the shit out of everything.
Oh.
What does Christmas mean to you, Mark?
Obviously losing weight and exercising properly. And getting fatter. Getting fatter.
I'll drink to that.
yeah, that losing weight bullshit. That's for January.
No, not really. It's not.
We all say that to make us feel better while we're getting fat at Christmas.
It's just. I plan to do something about it in December next year.
Good planning. Good planning. For
Uh,
your 23rd birthday.
20. Close.
I'm trying to think of things to ask Mark. So lovely to have Mark on the show because we didn't know he was coming on. See, so
It's
lovely
got to be
meet.
Christmas related stuff. So best
Christmas.
and worst present.
Oh, good. Yeah, best and worst.
Best present ever was Evil Knievel. The
Oh yes.
Oh, that's an awesome present. Awesome present.
that was the best one ever. And the worst one at the same time. Because when I came downstairs for it, my dad was showing me how to use it. and he continued to show me how to use it for the rest of the day.
Any children, I am brilliant at showing you how scale electrics work.
I can't honestly think, I can't remember how long it was before I got to actually use my own Christmas present.
Did it ever land properly?
It
had like weights, didn't it, to make it?
Yeah, it would land in its back wheel if I remember correctly. Yeah,
Nice.
that was a long time ago, Richard. I can't rightly remember.
I missed that. What were we talking about there?
Evel Knievel.
Yes. I'm glad you said that. I had one of those. I loved it.
So worst present then?
Yeah, no, yeah, Evel Knievel or I got a Vic 20 one year. That was another awesome present.
What Commodore, man?
That was a good computer, wasn't it?
Commodore, man, Mark.
Yeah, that was
64. Yeah.
back in the day.
I remember getting a ZX Spectrum and I loved it so much.
What was it? No, I'm not going to start talking computer. That's just geeking out too much.
Says the man with a turntable over his shoulder.
That's a VHS player, Brad.
It's a laser disc.
It's a laser disc.
You should have got Betamax, Mark.
Oh, don't get me started about Betamax. Don't get me started about Betamax.
Yeah, there you go. There's a question for you guys. What was the first film you ever watched on Betamax or VHS? What was the first film you ever watched?
I've got mine. I could do mine straight away because I know it's really weird. The first we got a video player just after Top Loaders, so 85, 86.
The year I was born, 85.
Yeah, and we joined because we didn't have any videos. We did have a video player, so we had to join the video rental place.
Oh yeah.
And we got an American Tail because I was 4, 5. That's not. It must have been 87. The cartoon about a mouse.
It must have been earlier than that, John. Earlier than 87.
I don't know. American.
You can watch a video from any era as long as you have the correct equipment. Can't
Yeah,
you?
not in the video shop.
Might not have been year of release.
I would have thought John would have had one in the first 5 or 10 years of them coming out.
We had a microwave before anybody else, but we didn't have a video player. We used to just watch the microwave. It was all right.
Jungle Book was mine. No story. No John added bits. it just was Jungle Book.
I don't remember actually watching a film. I do remember that when we first got one, I used to think it was one of those ones that didn't have the electronic buttons. It had a big button that you pushed down, and you could sort of press it and rewind TV. And I used to quite like recording the television and rewinding it and watching it fast backwards. It's quite funny.
I was a pretty good guess. Came out in 1986, so the video would have been 1987.
Yeah.
Mine would be Fantasia in the early 90s.
Oh, good one.
My grandparents brought it back from one of their trips to the States.
Did you? Was it a DVD or was it?
No, it was VHS. I still have the VHS in a box full of videos that I can't play because I don't have a VHS player.
I've still got a video player on my cabinet.
I've got a collection of 90% of Disney movies because I was maybe between 5 and 10 years old, so it's pretty much all my grandparents.
Yeah, I've got some really rare German stuff.
No one's surprised about that.
Mary's Adventures.
Can't watch it, but
Debbie Does Dallas.
Art films.
Yeah, very good. Very, very good. I don't remember mine. I don't know whether it was the very first one, but I do remember getting the toy by Richard Pryor, starring Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I know it was the very first one, but we rented that from our local. It was called Diamond Video, I think. Diamond Video, and that had about 11. It was independent, it was like about 11 video, and the toy was one of them. It was good. I still like that film right now. Is it Christmassy? I think it probably is.
Yeah. I think mine was. We got 2. It was Enter the Dragon and Convoy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, two classics.
That's too cool. That's too cool.
Yeah.
That's like when people say their first album was like Pink Floyd.
No, mine was The Kids from Fame.
Mine was Jason Donovan.
I know what my first single was. I remember getting a record player. It was one of those little plastic ones, and I got the Boomtown Rats.
I don't like Mondays.
Rat Trap was the first 7-inch.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was I don't like Mondays. I don't like Mondays by the Boomtown Rats.
Ah.
I do remember my first CD was Billy Joel, River of Dreams.
Yeah, I did. I thought Jason Donovan was unbeatable, and then Billy Joel's River of Dreams. Did you go walking in the night?
I did. I could probably still sing. I will not. I'll say this now categorically. I will not sing the song, but I probably could sing that word for word.
Oh, Ria, same question.
First VHS. Ria.
What the first one? Well, I got bought it by my nan, and it was Home Alone. It has to be Home Alone that I remember.
Oh, nice.
That I remember. So
Right.
Sticking with the theme too.
and also the missus just walked in, and I got a story where I borrowed a Naughty Neighbours tape, Naughty Neighbours. And accidentally left it in the VHS. So when my mum and dad went to settle down to watch Corrie, it was very softcore though. It wasn't anything hard.
Did they get confused for a second and went, fucking hell, this is livened up a bit.
Obviously, Dad got the initial blame, but it was it was definitely me.
I like the fact
Did
that.
you own up?
What? Sorry?
Did you own up?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
Of course. What was my first vinyl? You were talking about that. I actually bought a vinyl, and it was Mr. Blobby, believe it or not. So I think I win out of everybody.
That's good.
Oh, dear.
Mr. Blobby. I do remember that hitting at #1. That was a Christmas single, wasn't it? #1.
Yeah.
My
Fantastic.
first album was on tape. We've done this before, I'm sure, but it was Jackson 5, Children of the Light.
Oh, good band, Jackson 5, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Really good.
Asda, Bargain Barrel.
How old are you, Richard?
I'm not sure. I'm not
17.
sure.
A lot older than he looks.
26, 27. Yeah, it's quality though. It's £4, so it wasn't that much of a bargain.
Yeah, £4. Was it a double cassette?
No, single
Oh.
cassette. We're talking pre-hour price here.
Yeah, but when you get sick of it, a little bit of sellotape, and you can just copy your Amstrad or Commodore games, Spectrum games.
Straight off,
even.
Yeah.
I never tried that.
Oh yeah, it works. Christmas things. I was going to say weirdest thing on your I'll go from left to right on mine. Brad, weirdest thing on your Christmas dinner plate. You can go nothing.
Weird? Why is it going to be weird? It's the most familiar meal ever, isn't it? at Christmas?
Yeah. But people
It dawned on me I was muted. I was halfway through a long ass description. I'm like, oh, what's that red circle mean? Brad shouldn't drink pre-show.
Brad should drink pre-show.
Okay, if I'm asked. We've thrown the whole Christmas menu out the window, and we've decided, screw it. The weather is apparently going to be 1 degree on Christmas. We're going to have a barbecue outside. So we're doing a proper full-on South African barbecue. A braai.
Sounds good to me.
So the Christmas menu is steak, chicken, lamb, and South African sausage called boerewors.
Have you got any black neighbours you're going to kick out of the house?
No, but we've got some black label we're going to be drinking. So
Good grief, John.
We got another guest, Mark
Another guest.
Dolan's here. Hello, Mark.
Morning.
Merry
We are
Christmas
good.
to you.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Mark.
Christmas.
Ho ho ho.
What does Christmas mean to you, Mark?
Means going to bed far too late, being woken up far too early by a little one, spending far too much money, and generally getting far too pissed.
Shouldn't call your wife little one. It's a bit.
Sounds right to me.
What should that?
she's not little, she's vertically challenged.
Compared to Mark, every fucker.
She's not. She's 6'2", but she's small in comparison to me.
Yeah.
I don't, anybody is big compared to you, are they?
No.
I'm actually enjoying one of these lovely juices here today, and that's a Jeffrey's.
Oh, look at that.
Green soda. Very nice.
I've got Jeffrey's here.
Yeah, spot on. I'm liking it, Mark. It's nice.
Mark,
Thank
what
you very
we'll go to the other ones. What's your best and worst Christmas presents
Ever.
This year?
All right.
Go and open it. Find out. Best and worst Christmas presents ever, Mark. Dolan.
Ever.
Oh, I wasn't even prepped for this. Can I skip? Can you come back to me and let me think about this?
We'll just throw Craig straight in. Craig's just joined when filming his dinner.
He's got his dinner. Look, he's got a Chrissy dinner.
He's got a Christmas. Yay! I like that. His commitment. Look at that. It's Craig. Oh, he's a beautiful man.
Hello.
I like the glasses.
Hello, mate. Oh, yeah, he's got some nice
Hello.
sneakers.
Yeah, I've upgraded. I've got these ones, and I've got those ones as well.
Well, which ones are
it.
your chess ones, the rounded ones or the square ones?
These ones, these chess ones.
Grandmaster Craig.
Grandmaster Harrison.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Craig, what's your...
Hold on. I've got a lit right. Xmas Fingers to Turkey Dinner. First Betamax video was the animated Lord of the Rings.
Oh, good one.
That
nice.
sucked so much.
No, it didn't.
They didn't even finish it. It's that shit. They got bored and stopped.
It was still excellent.
It was. The next question is: did Mark have any cartridges for the Vic 20?
No, it was tape. I had the tape recorder.
Yeah, you got a tape recorder, but you could get cartridges as well.
Yeah, I never had any. I was poor.
Yeah. We had Pac-Man and Jetpack on it, I think it was. Or the Jupiter Lander.
Was Jetpack on the Vic 20 as well?
No, the Spectrum, sorry. It was Jupiter Lander was on the Vic 20.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. So that's good.
The Spectrum on it. And my first vinyl record was Neo Sayer, Long Tall Glasses.
Awesome.
I like it when people are honest. It's better.
The only way to be.
That is. Anyway, I'm going to mute myself while I eat my dinner and listen to you lot.
Right.
Back to you then, Mark.
I don't know if you've done the computer thing already, but mine was a Spectrum Plus 2 is probably my best one.
Yeah.
And my worst one was probably a terrible pair of socks or jumper from my mother years ago. I can't think of anything vaguely funny.
Has anybody got
the itchy jumper?
Yeah.
My mum's a knitter, and I remember if you got a squashy present, you were like, and my mum was like, "Go on, open that one next." And you think, just burn it. Do you know everyone remembers what oatmeal wool was? But it's like they should have dropped that in the Gulf. We'd have won in about 20 minutes. They'd have got fucking oatmeal sweaters on. They'd have itched themselves to death.
I was going to say that a Spectrum was my best present as well, but it wasn't the Plus 2 or whatever. It was the original, the first 48K one.
What
The
did
rubber
rubber
keys?
Plus 2
Yeah, rubber keys, and you could get the Kempston expansion pack thing, so you could use a keyboard. And I had an Atari keyboard, Atari joystick.
You needed the El Kempston. It was a must. It was a must. The El
yeah.
Kempston. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, a few years later, I was treated to the Plus 3.
Oh.
So with a little dodgy floppy disk that didn't work on anything but the Specky.
How is it that all the guys on the show who are, let's put this politely, my senior,
That's all of us.
their first, yeah, exactly. Your first computers were newer than mine. Like my first computer was a 286. It predates. Yeah.
No, Spectrum's older than that.
Yeah, Spectrum's older than
286.
Yeah.
286 was about 90.
88. 286 DX2 was 1988, 89.
I must have got my Spectrum when I was about 13, and that's
Yeah,
going back.
Spectrum was 83, I think.
Oh, then,
83.
Yeah,
then
no,
Spectrum,
yeah,
then
yeah,
Spectrum
yeah.
is Spectrum that I had is not the Spectrum that you had, because the Spectrum I had was a fucking step up from the 286.
Oh, no. This a 28. I had an Amstrad. We had because my dad worked in IT, so we had a 286 DX2 with a 5.5-inch floppy disk drive, and a printer. That did that thing.
See, you were spoiled.
The only printer on the Spectrum was this little one that had about 2 inch of paper, and it was that heat paper.
Yeah, it was silver, wasn't it? It was silver.
Fancy.
Oh, good grief.
Loving it.
John, you were spoiled with the DX. I only got the SX.
No, my dad had to use it for work. He had to connect. He worked for London Transport, and unbelievably, sometimes he was allowed to work at home. So he'd actually have the modem where you put the phone on it. He actually used to put the phone on it.
A proper dial-up modem.
I'll do a John and Nori story. My dad wrote, and his friends wrote a program when they were living in, when they were working in London. Nobody knew what a modem was, and you know those radio shows where they'd say the first one to ring in when we open the phone line wins. Well, they'd just set it going, and it'd make sort of 700 phone calls every 2 seconds, and they won every time. They had a room full of all the prizes they'd won from the radio, and they'd choose between the one who was going to go down there and pick it up. Awful people.
Angsty's here. Angsty's coming.
Angsty!
Hello.
Good evening, Angsty.
Oh, it's my favourite Spice Girl.
He's my favourite Texan. Definitely my favourite Texan.
Yeah.
Oh, he is a good space ghetto as well.
I thought you guys might get a kick out of that.
Yeah, loved it.
That's the closest I could come up with how to say that phrase and make it sound like a Scot would say Spice Girls.
It's probably just the same as saying it in a London accent, isn't it? In a Cockney style accent. Accent.
That's what I figured anyway.
We speak and don't pronounce T's. We can quite easily ghetto, you know, so it's a space ghetto.
Right, exactly. That's what I had to assume, right?
God.
So I didn't mean to barge in. I'm just back from taking a friend to the airport.
Barge away.
Yeah.
Go to the Christmas. Somebody asked ask Angsty the Christmas question.
It's got to be what was your first computer, Angsty? I don't care about the rest of it. The computers are taken over now.
What?
What was your first computer that you got?
My very first computer was when I was a very small boy. My dad bought an Atari 800 XL, which was basically a Commodore 64 clone. Had BASIC hardwired in it. 5 1/4 floppies.
They were good, the Commodore 64s. They were about the same time as the first ZX Spectrum.
That was mine, 64.
Yeah.
The
They
only
had
real difference.
Commando on them. That's the thing. They had that game Commando. I loved it. Yeah.
That's exactly right. That was the upside of going with the Atari 800 XL instead of the Commodore 64, because the Atari would play Atari cartridges as well.
Oh, yes.
Plus, it had BASIC, and you could do silly basic stuff.
Did you enjoy it as much if you didn't have to wait 45 minutes for it to load?
Oh, you loved it more.
That's all we knew.
More.
That's all we knew.
The loading was the game.
Yeah. Nothing worse than doing if you'd got a game that was 2 sides of a tape and you turn the tape over, put it in, press play again, and it got halfway through and it just went, and you're like,
oh, syntax error, man. Syntax error. That was the worst. That was
one of the best games on the Commodore 64 was Ghostbusters, because you could play Space Invaders while it loaded.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking awesome.
Ghostbusters was good.
Shit game. But best Christmas present then, Angsty, and worst.
Oh dear. Best one that I received or gave?
Received. Don't up yourself. Gave.
That's true. I suppose so.
I got quite a good present, but you'll never guess what I bought her. Amazing.
I suspect it was probably my Red Ryder, my BB gun, when I was like 8, I think.
Nice.
Right.
Like it.
I mean, American, right? It has to be a firearm of some sort.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised it's not something a bit more vicious, being the Texan.
Well, at the time, I actually was an Alabamian, so it wasn't quite so Texas yet.
Right.
It wasn't until later that I figured it out and moved to Texas.
You give it to Master, he could probably mod that BB gun to make it really deadly.
Yeah, it'd be sonic booms and rail guns and whatnot. Yeah, it'll be bad.
And what was the worst one then, Eggs?
Oh dear, I don't know that I can recall a worse. I mean, you always get the standard, grandmother giving you socks and stuff, right? I mean, it's a kind gesture. Thank you, grandmother.
Do you have in the UK? We have the running joke. If you're a bloke, somebody will give you a presentation box of a shower gel and a body spray of Lynx, which is called
high karate was the thing we always used to get.
In the US, I think Lynx
and
is called
talcum powder as well. You got talcum powder too.
Oh, talc, yeah. And nobody ever opens the box. I used to had a cupboard with 8 kits in it. Like, nobody wants to smell like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. It's because they smell of desperation. It's like desperate teenager in a can. Like nobody.
What is talcum powder for? What is talcum? I don't even.
It's designed specifically for you to keep your balls dry.
Yeah,
I'm not putting. I don't understand talcum powder.
I always thought it was just for the northern soul scene, so you could dance and move your feet around.
Move to Texas, and you will use it exclusively for keeping your testicles dry.
That's exactly right. If you lived in the South over here.
No, don't use talc. My boss Simon, our ex-boss Simon, he is the UK's #1 consumer of talcum powder.
I think it is medicated, isn't it? It's sort of got some antibacterial.
No, is it bollocks? It's not. It's gypsum. Nah, it's doing this shit.
What is it then?
Do you have the brand Gold Bond over there?
Gold Bond? No. You're going to give us a brand of talcum powder? Like, is it?
The only reason I mentioned is it's medicated talcum powder, so I think it's got like menthol or something in it. So
stingy.
Yeah. So a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine from back in high school, what he used to say was if you used it for that very purpose, it was like I believe the phrase was 1,000 Smurfs blowing on your balls.
I like that as a sales pitch.
Yeah, it should have been on the bottle. Absolutely.
I think I'd quite like to get some of that.
You can see Rick and Superdrug tomorrow. It's just clearing shelf.
Gold Bond.
I'm just standing by the shelf, just going like this.
Thanks, he was right.
Here come the Smurfs.
You gotta give it a trial, right? You gotta give it a test run. There's nothing wrong with that.
I haven't used talc. I don't know. So I'm 37. So I'm going to say at least 25 years. I think.
What about when you're weightlifting?
Oh, I use just more rocks. I just rub my hands in.
Well, no, that's not what it is for. It's chalk, isn't it, for weight?
Yeah.
The weight.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself away.
You're fat.
Legs. Could you imagine that if you whipped out a bottle of imperial leather when you're about to do a lift?
Johnson's.
A
nappy.
Or actually, just whatever the gold one was, you just tapped it on and the bloke went, 1,000 Smurfs.
It could probably work, talcum powder with weightlifting. It'd probably dry your hands enough to give you a bit more grip.
Sure. Yeah, you definitely do. And strangely enough, while it does that, you could also use it while you're playing pool, right? Or billiards. Because it's a lube at that point. Yeah. It's both a lubricant and a grippy thing.
You've just made the weirdest thing in the world. Like, I know the fuck is bringing talc to a pool club. You're about to do something real special.
I assume it's like talk. I've never used it for that, but
I've never used
it. There's a lot of uses for it. There's lots of uses, isn't there?
Yeah, we used to use it in the army. They used to put talcum powder in your socks.
Yep.
Yeah, it would help, wouldn't it? It'd be
legitimate.
Yeah.
John Malcolm has made a good point. If talc can cause ovarian cancer, then it should be kept. I'd also keep it away from scrotums, just in case. Actually, if you read that, that's a really interesting thing that you've got going on at the moment in America land. Actually, the court case against Johnson & Johnson for asbestosis is fucking ludicrous. Anyone who understands critical thinking, the entire case is absolute shit. That there's no founding in science at all, and it just kind of reminded me of the troubles you've had over there with vaping. It's very similar, where nonsense science is used on level pegging with real science. So Johnson Johnson, you know, whatever, they're a huge pharmaceutical company, and they know that their levels. There was something. It was ridiculous. It was like 0.000000000.1.
Yeah.
Asbestos. Sorry, and they'd kind of, it was negligible. It didn't really make any difference. And then they went, well, it's still there.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly right.
I mean,
heavy metal. Yeah, it's there. It's true. I guess.
I mean,
it's probably just as much asbestos floating around in the air as there is in it.
Absolutely.
It's in rice, isn't it? Oh no, that's arsenic.
Cyanide, yeah, or arsenic, yeah.
I thought it was that. Yeah, but either way, it's just that it was amazing. It was a really good. It's great the way the papers have been reporting it in the UK, where people have been saying, asbestos found in Johnson Johnson, and then others are saying America's gone mad as usual with bullshit and fining people billions of dollars for fuck all. Yeah, pretty much.
Can I do my worst Christmas present?
Go.
It's a belter. Okay, it's only about, I don't know, 8 years ago or something. My mum got me Lewis Hamilton's autobiography. I've never watched Formula 1.
Was it a leaflet?
Can I try and
never watched Formula 1 racing. I've never really shown an interest along those lines. It's probably the only autobiography out that year where the person was actually younger than me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I probably had more to tell than he did at that point.
Can I throw a challenge down, Richard?
Sorry?
I might have, my worst Christmas present might be close.
Was it chessboard?
No, my worst Christmas present was some dodgy knockoff Michael Jackson off the walls hoodie that I got with Michael Jackson off the wall album cover on the front of it. It was like, I've never up until then, I've never listened to Michael Jackson, and it was this worst knockoff ever. I mean, you just.
If it was
I'd love to have
knockoff,
seen
would
you
it
in that.
actually black?
I've got to say my worst Christmas present, and they seem to happen every year now, because me and my boy Jake, we try to get each other the worst DVDs we possibly can, and he buys me some obscure Charles Bronson DVDs, and they're really terrible. They're knockoff, and they don't even play some of them. And I in return try to find him Jean-Claude Van Damme films, but really bad old ones.
Do you watch them, mate? Because
we tried watching one once and it didn't work.
Oh, that'd be great if you actually watch them. I think I can beat all of these, no problem at all. I got when I was about 17. I got a Bible for my mum for Christmas.
They give those out at school to us.
It was a signed edition, not by God.
Oh, Jesus.
My mum signed it.
Oh.
It's a St. James Bible.
It would have been worth something if Jesus had signed for it.
Do you ever do that? I've done that ever since I saw the funny thing, because they put it in your face, so you're allowed to do it. If you're staying in a hotel and there's a Bible in the thing and a pen, just sign it. I don't do it. Just write either from Jesus or God. Enjoy the book, yeah, or whatever. And then just put it.
Why would God or Jesus sign it?
Because
doesn't make sense.
I mean,
that's like having a Harry Potter book signed by Harry Potter.
Why didn't he write things like, why didn't you bring a claw hammer or something like that?
Yeah. You know, it is really good. If you're just bored though, the pen's there, just sign it, because they put it there. It's ridiculous. If they put anything else, imagine you get a hotel room with free religious text. No, it's yours. Do what you like with it. It's absolutely fine.
Hope you like the talking snake. God.
Yeah, perfect.
Don't trust Pontius Pilate.
Heads up, Pilate's a dick.
You wait till don't put it down at Easter. It gets better on the Monday.
If you like this, you'll love the New Testament.
Coming soon.
Oh. My dad had a good Christmas present. It's not a terrible Christmas present, but my dad bought me a digital alarm clock. You know, the bedside clocks you get.
Oh yeah, I think you have said this before.
Yeah, and the daft thing was he bought me one a month before for my birthday as well.
Were you having
he must have got a job, a lot of them.
Can I do my best? I haven't done my best
Yeah,
yet.
go for it.
Me and my brother used to share a room when we were sort of, I guess, 11-ish, 12-ish, and my mum and dad put a lock on the spare bedroom door. Anyway, Christmas Day comes, we open it up, and my dad was an engineer, and he built basically a fucking spaceship in this room with all buttons and all the lights worked and everything like that. And my mum had done the aliens like out of tinfoil and shit. We were poor, basically. So, but it was amazing. It was the best thing.
That's fucking awesome.
I got DJ Khaled's hair. What's going on? You knew he was sneak into a broadcast anyway.
I like. What did they use the spare room with the lock on for? Before? Was it just
to stop us going in? Just
killing hitchhikers?
Yeah, no, just to stop us from going in and seeing it before Christmas. And then I think we were playing hide and seek, and one of our mates, Chubb, busted a lock. He was called Chubb for a reason.
Yeah, I was going to say, and he got that kind of settled him out for the rest of his life, didn't it?
Yeah, well, he's still called Chubb now, but he's actually pretty skinny. So the joke's on me. My dad's worst one. Sorry, I'm going to bow out after this. My dad's worst one. My mum saw a trailer for Snakes on a Plane, and my dad ended up with a DVD called Snakes on a Train. It was really bad. It was really bad. Anyway, right. I'm going to go. Love you and leave you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And
Merry Christmas, Rick.
Rubbish. And, well, I guess it's cool. So, next guy's coming in. Bye.
All right.
Could I just say real quick that Brad and Mr. Blythe are both making me feel very underdressed at the moment.
Look at this. Look, I've already said this on chat. My Pizza Hut manager took me in for a disciplinary. I did everything I could. All right?
But that is a Texan suit and tie, is it not?
It's not, surprisingly enough. There's no bolo tie, no cowboy boots, none of that.
Oh, you should have been wearing the boots at the very least.
Yeah, sorry, that's not my bag. My boots look. These are the sorts of boots that I wear. Actually, from your neck of the woods.
Hey.
You're supporting good old English brands there. We love you.
That was my great uncle. We just used to call him MD. Oh, that's all.
Boo! Boo! Get off! The ties were Rick's idea. Rick last week went, let's all wear ties next week for the Christmas show, and then at about 8 o'clock, 7:30, we went, oh, we all wear ties, and Rick was like, well, I'll wear ties. Well, I don't know. I don't even own a tie. And he went out at 7:30 and bought a tie. Did Rick? That's what happened. I
don't know how it happened. I don't even remember.
Did you buy a tie, really?
Who?
You?
No, I've got a load of ties upstairs. I do dress up occasionally.
You said you'd have to go out and get one. I presume that meant you have to.
I meant go and get one. I said. I meant go upstairs and get one.
Half past seven in Londies. Just give us.
No, it's 2 flights of stairs, so it's up. It's a distance to go and get one. In my stately pile.
I see. My mistake.
I'm certain. I know I have a couple of ties, but I'll be damned if I know where they are. I refuse to wear them.
Just go tie a sock around your neck for us.
Yeah, I'm sure I can find some rope or something to make a.
Yeah, just tuck a sock into the collar of your shirt.
Live on YouTube, tying a rope around your neck. This is never going to end badly.
No,
of course not.
I was thinking, what we did, Brad. So you're going to have a weird South African barbecue Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Mark in Scotland. Do you have anything? Do you have anything odd on your Christmas dinner plate, or is it normal?
Have I ever had anything odd?
No. Do you traditionally have something odd?
Yeah, traditionally. No, not really. No, it's a bit of Lorne sausage. That's
weird. Yeah,
you gotta have a haggis on New Year's Eve, right?
No.
Burns night.
I like the fact he's having a lawn sausage. We rarely have lawn sausage.
I never eat grass. We don't eat grass.
Lawn sausage.
Vegans might have a lawn sausage.
If my dad was doing the barbecue, sometimes you get a lawn sausage. You're lucky.
Wait, that's what TJ leaves all over your garden, right?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to go vaping. Well, we haven't done what guests are vaping. Actually, I'm gonna go left to right again. Mark, what are you vaping?
Me, I'm running 2. I've got the Saver and an old Gizmo.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
And a Berserker and an iPower, which is my all-day carry.
Nice.
Does the job. And in that, I am running 12 milligram elderflower and apple from Jeffrey's Vintage Vape.
Good.
Very nice it is too.
Angsty, what are you vaping? It's muted.
one thing I'm always vaping on is a Limelight freehand with a RAM board inside. On top of there, I've got a Haku Vino with a bell cap and an Omen tip. Inside,
I'm proud of you. You called it a board. I'm proud of you.
It's not a chip.
It's not a chip. It's a board.
I'm not a savage, Rick. Inside of here is, of course, Rail Cracker made by a good friend of mine. And the other thing that
we're trying to sort that at the moment. We're gonna.
Oh, I can't wait! I can't wait for you to get some. It's so
we're
good.
Gonna get it. But we already did. We did like I did 3,000 bottles in the UK. It just went gone.
Nice.
So
It's nice stuff. It's good. It's really good.
No, it wasn't. It was 800. I did 800 bottles.
Is that right? Okay. Well, that's right.
Exactly.
I forgot you got a shipment from Zach, the original guy, before he quit.
Yeah. Love Zach.
He's a lovely guy.
He got fucked over. I tried to kind of talk about it last week. It's really.
Do you know what? He might be ginger, but he's a nice bloke.
Yeah. And it's Jay now doing it, isn't he?
Yeah, Jay's now doing it, and Jay and he are just like me and he are all friends.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No, you know, I was telling everybody else. So,
yeah. Okay.
Zach just didn't want to make it anymore. Really, is a short version, and I tried to get him to go through the guys that make hourly liquid, and that never really worked out. And I'm really glad that Jay picked it up because, well, if nothing else, I can now buy it and not have to wait for Zach to make it by hand. So that's great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I thought first, it's one of those things that I don't get tired of. I spunk it all day, every day. It's great. It's the only thing that I do that to that I haven't had a hand in making, which is pretty impressive to me. The only other thing I've got is my Billy Box, my royal purple gray one, exoset inside, and inside of there I'm running Abolishment. Hint or small piece of news. It's finally back.
What is that abolishment, Angsty? What is that?
They've got news though. They've got
you got a new maker, have you?
Yeah.
We do. So the guys that helped us make it originally and made it, MTVS, which are awesome people. They did go out of business a few months ago, and we had a really hard time getting the FDA on board with changing over the registration and all this other garbage.
Gaslight went, did they?
What's that?
Gaslight.
Gaslight. Well, Music City is the one. That's another company.
Oh yeah. Music City is Amanda, who's one of the most fucking genuine people ever.
She's a fantastic lady, and I dearly miss working with her, to be honest. But we were able to go, and so one of our oldest friends in vaping is Stashy Liquids, and they have now got the capacity to help us out. So they are now making our stuff. You're going to be able to order it from stashyliquids.com, and then hopefully, as soon as we get all that retail stuff sorted out, we're going to have it back at just Nick. Yeah, we've still got our stock, and we're still going. But yeah, just a little one with Amanda. Where every so often you work with suppliers. Mark has this, Rick does this. Obviously, there's quite a few people in the vape industry, but you just hit somebody who's just amazing. And Amanda's just this. If you could kind of put as a person in business, if there was like boxes to tick, she smashed every single one. Just always answers, always gets shit done, and it happens. And Amanda is also, she's the reason for so many things that most people don't know. She's the reason for NATA with Toby in the US. Yep. She's the reason for Ruby. And she's absolutely no comment.
Absolutely fantastic. Anyway,
not only does she work hard and she always gets shit done, like you said, the other thing about it is she's so kind. She's such a lovely person in general.
She bought us dinner. We went out with Toby.
Yeah.
We did, didn't we? Jam last year.
Expo last year.
Oh,
Toby came out.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he kind of sneaked off at the end of the meal, came back and he said, I paid for it. And I said, oh, why'd you do that? And he said, oh, it wasn't me. Amanda just wanted to buy you all dinner. I was absolutely crazy.
Nice.
That
Craig.
doesn't at all.
Well, anyway, so get the liquids now. If you're in the US, get those, or wherever you are, get those liquids from stash.eliquids.com. Craig, what are you vaping?
If you're going to get Poe, then you've got to get Stash as well, John.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, should have Stash.
So I told Josh just today that when he sends you guys over samples, he should definitely send some of his stuff. You guys have got to try Valhalla. You're right, Craig. That one is absolutely good. The other one that's my favorite there for many years is Lushington, which is this peaches one.
It's ridiculous.
I tried. I got it because we had Vapor Z in the UK who were doing it.
Yeah,
weren't they? But it didn't really. But
the problem there is Lushington is fantastic the first week to 2 weeks that you have it. It's one of those very few e-liquids that actually gets worse as it ages.
Yeah.
So if you're getting it in stock from a retailer or something, I can see how it would be okay, because after a while it kind of tastes like 10 pieces.
You want to get it from somebody who's got the concentrate, and then you put the nick in.
Oh God, here we go. It's another Just Add Nick advert.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. There's something about it, because after about 2 weeks it turns into kind of like 10 peaches, which is not bad, but it's not fantastic, right? But right out of the mail over here anyway. Oh my God, it's so good. Anyway, I can't wait for you guys to try some of that stuff too that you haven't tried.
They do a PB&J, don't they?
It is the best PB&J.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, and if you're like one of those darker, richer things, Dark Star. You got to give Dark Star a whack.
Yeah. Anyway,
Craig, what are you vaping?
I'm vaping on. I'm on the Tartos with a Super Tank Mini on top.
Ooh.
With Gluttony in that from DB Liquid. And the other thing I'm on the Aster Elemental. I think
that's so understated. It's wicked.
Little thingy. Little jobby. I'm on that with a Haku on top, and
it's not as nice as my one.
Oh, I've got two.
So have I.
There you go. We're back on to you now.
I've got 5 elementals. You've only got 4.
Craig, which
I've got 5.
Have you got 5 now?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the other one arriving.
Oh no! You've still got 4 then. 4.
I've got
That's how counting works.
Just waiting on them arriving.
Yeah.
Craig, what Haku is it?
It's just I think it's the Phenom. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried the Vena?
No, I've not tried it. To be honest, while we're on that whole topic, I've not bought any vaping gear for months.
It's been many months for me as well. I feel you.
Yeah, I'm just so tied out with it. It's kind of like, why am I getting all these things? I've got so much shit that I'm just going to use until I break it now.
So I love Steven. Steven's a great guy, and with Mark here, Mr. Todd, definitely made some of the Phenom happen. But the Vena, to me,
what one did I get, Craig? What one did I get?
You got the Haku. You got the Phenom, I think, or the Cruiser.
The Cruiser. That's what I've got.
Yeah. But I've got a Simply Tips single airflow cap on it.
Look at you, Mr. Cloud Chaser.
So, and it's fucking great with just one air hole in it. It's brilliant.
I think we're gonna have to jump to Vinny, because Vinny just
Champs
in the room.
Guys.
Champs here.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working. You're fine.
Live from China.
How you doing, Champ?
Are you really live from China?
No.
I know you're not.
He took all his stuff with him. He took all his stuff.
Took his house.
His office.
How is everybody doing?
All right.
Good.
Yeah,
Can I see? Is the man bun gone?
Yeah, it's all gone.
Look at that man
All
bun.
gone, dude.
I think
I
it's
decided I needed to change. I need to grow up a little bit, you know.
You do look like an adult.
Not getting any younger. And then I decided to clean shave,
then.
and I look really young.
How was China, Vinny? You've just come back from a China exhibition, haven't you?
I did indeed. Yeah, I got back, and straight away I got a chest infection.
Oh, fuck.
So, yeah, that was nice to come back with. But yeah, no, it was a great event. It was really, really enjoyable. Amazing to get out there finally. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid to go to China, and to go there for a vape event was outstanding. But how's everyone doing in here already? How's the show been?
Good.
I think it's been good.
Very
Well,
random.
it's just been hanging out with mates. It's fine.
It's been non-vape related, is what it's been.
How different is a Chinese show then, Vinny? That's what we need to know.
I mean, to be fair, the show was really chilled out. It seems like the UK ones are more hectic. When I went to Paris, and Mark probably can comment on this as well because he was in Paris. They seem to be a lot more chilled out, and in the Vegas one as well. Which I'm stalking Mark around the world. I thought he went to China, so that's why I went initially.
You got there and you were like, Mark, and then they were like,
I mean, tell us the truth. You're really expecting to see some more fighting Asians like you did at Expo, aren't you? Didn't you? That's why you went.
some more what? Sorry,
Fighting Asians.
Fighting Asians.
It kicked off, didn't it? At Expo?
I missed that. I only went for one day.
About it until about 2 weeks later.
And then I saw a video on what was it, Facebook or something? Someone's uploaded it, and it went semi-viral, like for vaping, I suppose, went viral. But yeah, I completely missed it. I think that happened on the last day. What was it over? Was it over juice or free stuff?
There wasn't really much to see, was there? I don't think anybody even hit anyone, did they? I don't know.
But Mark, do you concur with Vinny? Is it less hectic elsewhere than it is here?
Yes, definitely. It's it just seems a bit more full on here. I mean, I never went to China. I mean, I just post everything there instead.
Yeah, obviously. As soon as you get it, quick picture.
Mark doesn't get anything. Mark doesn't get anything from China now.
No, he sends it out there. So
no, I send it there. I watched your video, mate, and it looks amazing. It did.
Oh
wow!
Quite
jealous. Good for you. Chuffed for you.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, it really was a good event. I really did enjoy it. It was just cool. It was cool to see what vaping was like in China. And I mean, I've uploaded one vlog from the actual event, but as you'll notice with the vlogs, you'll notice it's a lot of pod systems. I mean, they're crazy for pod systems. That's really the big market.
Expo the Return this year. Expo the Return. Sorry, obviously this year. There was shit loads. There was about, I don't know, 40 pods
to buy. There was a lot to buy.
To buy, I mean,
yeah, but not people walking around using them.
No.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, no, carry on, dude.
No, I was just saying the thing with China is they haven't really got the hobby high-end scene, have they? They've only really, and they still like smoking, don't they?
Yeah, that was it. It was basically it was more or less half pod systems and half heat not burn.
Wow.
There was a lot of heat not burn. I mean, someone, I mean, obviously they notice that you're starting, you film at certain stalls or things like that, and because you are a foreigner, they kind of, and you've got a big camera in your hand, they want you to come over to them. And one guy, I was actually on my way to the bathroom, and one guy grabbed me and started dragging me over to his stall. Friendly guy, in all fairness, really like smiling and everything. Didn't really speak English. I didn't know what was going on. And he got me in there and he was like, "Oh, can you film this?" So I started looking at it, and it turned out to be a heat not burn product. And to explain to him that I can't film that, or I didn't want to film that, it was really hard. And he said, "Oh, can I have a picture instead?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." You know, but yeah, it was kind of split down the middle, in all fairness, between heat not burn and pods.
How did they do produce over there? Because they've always been remarkably crap at juice in the past.
There wasn't much juice. I found it quite hard to find juice. The only juice I found was an American company, BVCK, I think.
Oh yeah.
They got a cartoon unicorn as their logo.
Right.
Fantastic. I'm glad we were represented well over there.
A cartoon unicorn with a gun.
With a gun. There's just something in chat I noticed. Yeah, the charity boxing match. Yeah, it went really well.
That was the next thing. That was going to be boxing.
I literally just saw it in the comments. I wanted to answer. Look, I've not done a live show in so long, honestly.
Go for it. I know how you got on.
I'm waiting for some more footage because I wanted to do like like when you watch a
He
boxing match
fucking
on
won.
Sky.
Is what he means.
There's not going to be a lot of footage, There's not going to be a lot of footage.
He won. That's what happened.
Yeah, I won by knockout in the first round.
96 seconds, was it 96 seconds, something like that?
It was 1 minute 34, 1 minute 41 seconds.
We are proudest punch of you, Vinny.
Thank you.
That's a stone.
In a weird way,
was hands of stone.
In a weird way, was that slightly disappointing that it was so quick?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when it ended, I was glad it ended because I went out and unlike the last year when I'd done it, I held back in the first round. But this time I went out and I kind of went full speed ahead. You know, there was hardly a time when I weren't moving or trying to fire a punch. So just before the knockout, I was thinking, I am fucked at this point. I'm shattered. You know, I can't wait for the second round, like the bell to make it to the second round. I was thinking I need that minute rest. But when it happened, when the referee waved it off, when the guy said no more, I was disappointed. I was thinking all the training, everything, all the somewhat attempted weight loss diet. It was a bit of a shame that it was over so quick. But again, if it went to another round, I might have lost.
I think you're looking great, Billy. It's like from last time when you were on to now. I think you look like you could really fucking fuck someone up. To be fair,
I wouldn't like to. I don't know.
On that topic, I don't know what your build is, but I visited China myself a few years ago, and being a round eye and being 6'2" and not a small person, I got a lot of attention and a lot of stares. Was that the case with you as well?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I don't know. It was weird. I've never been somewhere where I'm so much the minority.
Yeah, it was weird, right?
And I mean, everyone from young kids like babies to the elderly, they would people were just staring. But obviously, I mean, they don't get many tourists compared to other places, I suppose. And especially in the metro, I've never experienced anything in the metro so busy. Like literally, you would be inches away from someone else's face. It would get that busy, and people would just stare at you. So I'm quite a friendly guy, so I just smile. And some people, the majority of people, would smile back, but then some people would just look at you, and it would make me feel very uncomfortable. And I don't know, I'd just got to look away or something. But it was weird. It was weird. I've never been somewhere where I've been the minority before, like to that extent.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not been to China, but been to Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, and that kind of Cambodia, and
all right.
You're really well travelled.
No. There was. I was just going to say, my wife is very white. Mrs. John is very, very white, but she's so white that when we were in rural Thailand, in northern Thailand, a couple of times people wanted to touch Shelley.
Okay.
Mrs. John on the arm for luck, and they would ask if it was okay.
I didn't experience that.
Yeah,
I didn't experience that. You should have started charging them for it. Like, I don't know what the currency is out there, but a couple of pounds here or there.
We had when we were eating dinner at this really nice restaurant by a river. My friend's wife's Thai. Her name's Jen, and she went to order and she came back and she said, "God, this is really embarrassing." And I said, "Oh, what is it?" And she said to my wife, "Is there any chance the chef can come out and touch you on the head?" And it was just, I will get all kudos to my wife. She went, "Yeah, fuck it." And the chef came out and touched her on the head. They went back like, "Score. See you later." So
to be fair, at least they asked. It'd have been a bit uncomfortable should someone come stroking at you.
The only one that kids would do it, but not, you know, like under 8. They'd like run up and like touch her on the arm and then run off.
Right.
They were like, I'm not missing it. Done.
Are you sure they were kids and just not little ones?
No, they were there was a little kid on the subway on the metro.
John would have brought them home if they were.
Yeah, and you were coming them.
There was a little boy on the metro who kissed Mrs. John on the shoulder. Who just sat next to him. He just went like that. And his mum went, "Oh, for God's sake, I'm so sorry."
That's hilarious. No, I didn't experience anything like that. No one wanted to touch me in China.
However many times you asked.
Yeah, I mean, even begging. Seriously, they just kept refusing.
You just didn't pay enough. That's all.
To be honest, I might have paid more than I actually do realize, because yuan or RMB, it's confusing. Like 100 yuan is like £8.
Yeah,
you don't know if it's so confusing. It really is. And none of the apps I downloaded before I went worked out there, so I couldn't really use any translator apps.
It's crazy. It's crazy closed down out there. It's mad. My friend, because you were in Shanghai, weren't you?
Yes, yeah, Shanghai.
Yeah. My friend Ped lived in Shanghai for about 5 years, and everything's so massively, the internet's so massively restricted. We don't really think about it at all.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, and it's kind of a shock when you go out there, because I'm sure, like, you know, dealing with China, I have WeChat and things like that, but just when I landed back in the UK, my WhatsApp just went crazy because obviously I hadn't gone on it for just 6 days or something like that, and it was just insane. But yeah, I mean, in all fairness, WeChat is probably a better app in my opinion, because you've got WeChat Pay, you've got so many other things.
Yeah, that's their preferred platform, isn't it? A few suppliers have asked me to go onto WeChat to chat to them.
Yeah, I've had that as well.
Yeah.
Anyone else we got more questions? More questions?
I was going to say the funniest thing that happened to me when I was there is I had 2 different guys at one of the
2 different guys. I mean,
yeah. One on the street and one in the hotel, the bellhop kind of guy. They thought I was The Rock.
That's good.
They like straight, and obviously the English was very broken, but that's what it ended up coming out. They asked me if I was The Rock. I'm like, no, he's much larger than I am.
That was amazing. I like, because you sort of everything's relative, isn't it?
Yes,
so for them, you're a white guy, you're that big, you're The Rock.
Clearly,
that's how that works. And you're just walking around going, Bruce Lee, that's Bruce Lee. Oh my God.
Oh no.
That's true. I really wish I could have communicated that. I was like, you take me, who obviously looks much different than you do, and then you scale me up like 30% in every dimension. Right? I mean, The Rock is tall and enormous and just jacked, and yeah, he's a big dude.
He's buff.
There must have been a bit of you that was like, you were denying being The Rock, but also thinking, fucking, I'm The Rock. Shit.
In later in bed, just go.
You say that, but that weird thing. Totally true story. My dad was in DC in about 88, 89. And he was in a shoe shop and he went to go and buy some shoes. And he asked for them. And my dad's got extraordinarily small feet, UK size 7. My dad, and he asked for I know, I don't know, he don't fall over more often, and he asked for the shoes and the what don't we call it, a shop assistant went away, got them, and then came back, put them down, like said, oh here they are, try on, and he said, my dad said, oh thanks, and they said, just wondered if you would sign a piece of paper saying that you bought your shoes here, you could have them for free. And my dad said, why would you give me free shoes? And she said, Mr. Moore, I don't know if you know, but you're quite famous. And they thought my dad was Dudley Moore. My dad's about 5'8". What, 5'8"? Dudley Moore's about 5'2".
Yeah.
But they went, he's short, he's got a bit of a London accent, Dudley Moore. It's definitely done. And I think Santa Claus the movie had just come out, and they were like, "Here he is."
I hope he signed the paper for the free shoes. How many shoes did he get?
My dad would have nearly gone inverted himself with how embarrassed he is.
Right, I'm going to head off anyway. I'm going to
All right, see you later.
I'm going right back to my chest boot.
Merry Christmas, Craig.
Have a good one, Craig.
Merry Christmas, Craig.
You
I'm the same way, boys. I've got to go back to work.
Oh,
This
okay.
is lovely. It's
See you
been
later.
lovely.
See you later. Merry Christmas, mate.
Merry Christmas, boyos.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Oh gosh, look at that! It's all emptying out. Every now, Mark's going. I was gonna fucking leave.
Just I can hear Karen shouting. Huh?
Oh, I know one. I've got a Christmas question.
Go on then.
Okay, I'm gonna go left to right. Mark, Donut, have you got any Christmas drinks that you actually like? Like there are drinks that are only about at Christmas.
No.
Do you not?
No. And what the fuck is with Advocar?
Nobody wants that. No, it's true.
Why would you want to drink egg? Unless you were building or something like that. But
Egg and
I like eggnog. I like an eggnog.
that's not eggnog.
What did he say?
Advocar's just fucking horrible. That's
Isn't
not.
that what's in eggnog though?
Egg,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, it is.
no, it's
I
not.
thought it was. Is it not?
No,
Oh,
What
Yeah, it
is
is.
Advocar?
it fucking isn't.
It's orange. It's orange, isn't it?
No, it's orange coloured, but it's
Yeah,
not
that's what I
orange
mean.
flavoured.
No.
No, you just put it. You make snowballs out of it, but it's got nothing to do with.
Yeah, snowballs and pink kangaroos. You ever had a pink kangaroo?
Eggnog is really, really thin custard with rum in it and spices. That's what it is, really. Like if you,
Oh, I have an advocate though at lemonade and stuff, and I have one at Christmas.
there you go. That's what I'm trying. I was going for Christmas drinks. That was the idea. Mark cannot
No.
be no Christmas drink.
no. For me, Christmas morning is champagne and pork pie, and the
Oh,
rest
wow.
and the rest of the day is just turkey, pigs in blankets, and the rest of the shit that you drink throughout the day. Red wine about lunchtime.
Nice.
See that through. Hit the shorts in the evening.
Hang
I
on.
don't-
Red wine with turkey.
Yeah.
I don't drink white, so I'll be having red.
Well, we
No,
have
what-
we have the bubbly and we have the red because we have beef as well as turkey.
Oh, nice. I've got to go left to right on mine.
Well, go on, it's
Brad, a Christmas drink. Oh, fucking hell, he's from South Africa. I don't know. What's it called?
Cold beer.
Midja Billa Bing Bong or something.
Drink your own piss, do you? Drink your own piss, do you, Brad?
your own piss.
Fucking muted again. Jesus Christ.
He just jumped forward and went like that. Of course I drink my own piss. Fuck's sake. Every fucking
Fucking
day.
dry out there.
We have our own
Getting
version.
rowdy in
of
here, like
mulled
getting
wine,
rowdy.
Which
Own
is,
the- What,
isn't
I'm gonna-
sweet.
is it
So
micro-
spicy.
microwaved lager?
Oh God, no! Fucking lager must be cold. Don't. Even a heathen like yourself understands lager must be cold.
Go on, Brad.
No,
What
it's-
was it?
it's-
What was it?
It's a version of similar to mulled wine, but made with dry red wine and a lot of spice. So it's actually a spicy mulled wine. No. Mulled wine in the UK is like fucking sugar water compared to
Yeah,
what
but
I'm used to.
you make it with dry red.
Yeah, but when I drink it here, it is too sweet. It's 1,000 times sweeter than what I'm used to.
It is quite sweet. I'm not really massive.
Mm.
That's very interesting though. James, Christmas drinks.
No, I don't have Christmas drinks. Well, no, I mean I drink at Christmas. I drink.
We know you drink at Christmas.
But there is no Christmas drinks. There is no. I don't see why we should say. Oh, you can only have this like pigs in blankets. No, I love fucking pigs in blankets any time of year. I'm not bothered about putting some sort of restrictions on food or drink just because
He's
it's
not bothered. Richard, he wouldn't care if it was pancake day or not. He'd just have pancakes. He wants
Yeah,
pancakes.
well, there's nothing wrong with that. Why do we limit ourselves? I mean, there is. I mean, no, I'm not saying we should just give it. The see and the wish it could be Christmas every day. If it was really actually Christmas every day, it would take the onus off Christmas. Wouldn't be any fun. All the shops would be. You wouldn't be able to buy presents for Christmas because all the shops would be closed all the time. I don't want that. I'm not saying I want that. What I'm saying is, let's not put restrictions on the. You know, if you're a mulled wine fan, then drink mulled wine whenever you like.
June.
If you
Just
want to
get
wrap a
on
sausage
board.
and bacon, wrap a sausage and bacon. That's all I'm saying. So no, I've got no restrictions, and there's nothing I particularly like.
Mark, do you have like a I don't know, frozen haggis blended with whiskey or something?
We have what gets rolled out? Oh, heather cream.
Oh,
nice.
Heather cream. That gets rolled out at Christmas sometimes.
On a mince pie. On a mince pie, some Christmas pud.
Is it nice? Is it nice, Mark? Do you enjoy your heather cream?
Yeah, it's like whiskey with cream and a little hint of chocolate. But
then you should drink it all year round. Drink it all year round.
Well, no, you have no restrictions. I mean, that's like, you know, and we have a sex day. You know, we do.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
That's tradition. That's tradition.
There was a moment where I honestly thought I've had a stroke. I surely didn't say that.
Yeah. What you're trying to tell me that there is no such thing as a sex day?
Not in England.
It's not right. It comes once every 4 years in England.
It's the day of Shabbat, isn't it?
Let's see.
Oh, here he is.
Fletzy's here.
Hello.
Oh man.
Hello.
Oh man.
Merry Christmas, Flitzy.
Merry Christmas. You
Flitzy,
fucking
we're
twats.
going live from your room. This would be Flitzy's room if he comes today.
That's the one. I like the door. I like the door behind you.
Yeah,
all the doors here like this now.
I like that Flitzy's live from some sort of big budget blockbuster with a green screen. They're going to pierce Star Wars behind them or whatever. That's awesome, Flitzy. Awesome.
You know, it's funny. You guys have
the green because of the blood. That's the problem.
You've got the what do you call them? The pound shops, right? The dollar stores.
Yeah.
These are poster boards from Dollar Store.
Oh.
What's
$4. $4 on the wall.
Yeah,
is it for the purposes of green screening?
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
It's cheaper than $100 for a fucking curtain.
It's to hide the blood.
Yeah, it works for rip trippers, doesn't it?
That's true. That's what I was going for. I was going for rip trippers, but
yeah.
I was aiming for that level. I don't know if I quite made it.
You well exceeded his level, Flitzy, always.
Flitzy, what's your greatest Christmas present ever? And what have you've received? And what is the worst present you've received?
Wow. I think greatest Christmas present, you know, I got the old Nintendo Entertainment System, the original Nintendo
NES. The NES.
Yeah, the NES back in the day, which would have been like 85.
Was it new when you got it?
About then, isn't it? Yeah, about then.
No, I'm gonna say 89.
Yeah, but later for us, obviously.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you guys probably do, because I think I got mine the year before they got popular.
1985.
85.
85. Yeah,
I think 85, because I think 86 maybe is when they hit. I don't remember them being as big whenever I got mine, and then it was like next year they blew up because I'm a fucking trendsetter.
And then we got Mega Drives as well, just about the same.
Oh, Mega Drives are awesome.
Hang on.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive.
There was a Master System first on it.
Yeah, Master System NES. They were like.
Yeah, they were.
And then it was SNES Mega Drive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got the SNES. I queued for the SNES and got that Mario 3D. No, that's a different one, isn't it?
No, that's
a 64, wasn't it?
That was a 64. Yes, that's it. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the fact we all go instantly geek.
That was Mario 64, not 3D.
Mario 64 was amazing.
Oh, the graphics on that Mario game.
That's the first. Nintendo have always led the way. They don't try to do amazing graphics. They try to do amazing gameplay, and they win on that. But then they brought out the N64, and that was just the 3D world.
It was like, but you have to like the best. One of the best games ever been made is GoldenEye.
I've spent so many hours playing GoldenEye.
Bit of split screen action with a mate.
Love it. Zelda, Legend of Zelda on the N64 as well.
Definitely gone down a geek rabbit hole.
And now we have this.
Now the worst. Fitzy. What's the worst present?
Yeah, good.
The worst. Shit, I don't even know. Like, I feel like I've had pretty good Christmas gifts. I will say one of the more disappointing ones. It was actually recent that I got a really sweet Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie, but it was one size too big, and they never got any more that were in the right size. So I've never been able. I mean, I could wear a bigger jacket,
but I want it to be small so it'll fit me. So that's the only thing I've really been like, I really haven't gotten a use out of it because it's not the right size. But yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I've blocked it out if I've gotten anything worse than that.
I still remember. Just one something really funny.
Pressing it.
Flip said to me, we were at Vape Fest, and then Flip said to me, "Oh, do you know the thing I like about you, John, is that you do what I do." And I went, "What's that?" And he went, "When somebody hugs you, you go on tiptoes." Quite smart. I was like, "All right, fuck off."
Because I never noticed. Like, I don't know why I even do it. I just happen to notice.
I don't do it on purpose. It's like naturally do it.
Yeah,
I've literally never had that problem ever.
No, because the thing is, me hugging you, Mark, it's like I'm head height with cock, so it's no choice but to try and hopefully head for the sky. We're gonna go to next, Vinny. Yeah, you kind of done your mulled white. Is that your Christmas drink of choice, Rick?
I like them. We do go. We wake up in the morning. The dinner's on. We have a bottle of champers and some of that sort of blackcurranty spirit thing that you can make pink champagne with.
The one in the bottom.
Brown bottle.
Chambord, isn't it?
That's it, Chambois, yeah.
Oh, that's lovely stuff.
Yeah, we have that, and then Annie's got some posh stuff this year. Luckily with Jake working at Master Malt, we know about all these really nice drinks, and we've got some bathtub gin and some martini, and there's this special cocktail we're going to be making. But yeah, a bit of Advocat. I like a bit of Advocat, I've got to say.
Hey guys, what's up?
Mooch is here.
Hello, Mooch.
Mooch is here.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Master.
Happy birthday, Mooch. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Rick.
Merry Christmas, Mooch.
Hey guys.
Happy birthday, Mooch.
Is it? I don't know whether to presume, but just with the last name, is it Happy Hanukkah? Hanukkah? That right? Or am I wrong? Wachowski. Oh, I've offended people, and we've gone completely silent.
Oh, should I be offended? It makes for better drama. Your views will go up.
Yeah, I'm definitely right.
No, I'm Christian, so Happy Hanukkah is thank you, but it doesn't quite fit.
It was the last name. I was like,
that was a gamble, John.
Yeah, John, you're racist.
It didn't pay off. I ended up looking racist.
It's a German name, so let's see. Is anyone Jewish going back both sides of the family? I don't think so. It's classic Lutheran and some Catholic and some other stuff.
It's the ski at the end. I do apologise. I don't know.
Well,
if I apologise, it's even more racist.
If you insist on adding ski to the end, then you can do all kinds.
I thought it was
Russian.
What the fuck?
There's no ski at the end.
It's not Mooch ski, John. It's not Mooch ski.
But your last name isn't Mooch.
It's Moochowski.
Yeah, it's Moochowski.
So that's a ski at the end. Are you fucking mental? I didn't say it was Moochowski ski. That would be fucking insane. I was fairly close. I'm just a bit racist. Not that racist.
No, it was the complete opposite of that. You were trying to be inclusive.
I was.
There we go.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, I think
Happy Hanukkah anyway.
Happy Hanukkah. That's what we're going with.
Yeah, John, you have bigger feet than your dad. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
So, Mr. Mucho, best and worst Christmas presents ever,
or Hanukkah presents. Don't be racist.
all 9 days, whatever it is.
Okay, let's see.
Do they do presents?
Best is hard because I've gotten some wonderful ones. But I think a pair of tickets to see the Producers live on Broadway with Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick. That was a special evening. Worst. That's like a 15-year tradition my father brought into the family of regifting the corporate gifts from his clients. And there was some very special ties and ashtrays. Kids always enjoy those. That's it. And like the worst, he like the ones that were reasonable, he would keep. It was the worst of the worst of the worst. He would regift, because we always start off Christmas gift giving with some little joke thing we get or something like that. Just a couple little fun things, and that was the star of the evening. Some horrifying thing that a client thought would be a special gift for him.
What about that time that John sent you a dreidel? You remember that time? That was really bad.
That
really
was
bad.
And it was made out of ham. That was
yeah, that happened dreidel. John, you insensitive bastard.
You're right. My dad would do this. My dad, when he'd go on business trips, he would go. If he flew British Airways, if you flew like business class or club class back in the day, they'd give you free shit, and my dad would pretend he bought that for you while he was away. It'd be like, you go, Dad, did you kind of go, have I got a present? And he'd go, yeah, of course, model of the plane and a t-shirt. And you'd go, brilliant. And then he'd think, later on, I thought, that's just a free shit.
Yeah, all with the airline logo on it. And
and an eye mask. Look at you, Batman.
Don't forget the toothbrush with the little toothpaste.
Yeah.
Oh,
Enjoy
that's
that.
right. That's right.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. Have a wonderful Christmas and an excellent New Year. And thank you for having me on.
Back to you, Mark. Have a good one, mate.
Have a good one.
All the best to you and yours.
So, Mooch.
So who was that?
That was
don't start your racism here. It's Richard.
Mooch, a little bit of time's passed now.
sorry?
You're full time in the vape industry. Is that fair to say now?
Transitioning off my day clients. Mostly some special projects have started up, so I'm doing less testing. And to take the final steps to go full time, the stuff through Patreon helps take care of the bills for about half the month. So it's really only about half the month I'm working truly full time. There's just not enough support to go full time through community support. So finally, after about a year of courting and educating and discussing things with some people, hopefully these special projects go through. Some of them we'll know in a couple months what's going on. Others are like a 2-year, 3-year project.
Yeah. With vape companies or?
No, but they're vaping related projects.
Cool.
So there'll be projects for the community, and a couple of them. Well, we'll see. Some of them are some pretty. I can't really say much.
Oh no! Say loads, Mooch.
Nobody watches the show. You can say what you like.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
What we need to know is if Mooch is testing it, we're in safe hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. Some of it is stuff that's just coming out of labs, and so you really need to. It takes a year or two to really find out what can it be used. Can something be done with this? And
as in better chemistry for batteries and things.
Wow! Look at the time.
These are interesting times ahead.
So my favorite album, right?
Yeah. That would be great.
Yeah. So we'll see. A lot of it is because it's just coming out of the labs. You don't know, and it's been a year of talking to some of these startups and some of these labs about the one particular project, the longer term one, and they all talk up a storm, and then you go, okay, send me the sample, and you just go, no, this is fine for a watch kind of a fitness watch kind of app, but not for anything else. And the other two projects are shorter term. And I will see what they turn into, and then hopefully get back into with the new testing station here. Alan's a good boy. No testing today. Everything's turned off, so I could actually vape on camera in this room. Get back into some of the mech testing and the charger testing on there. Just kind of
looking forward to the whole rundown on chargers. It's going to be.
And I think it might end up be Patreon only because they paid for all the chargers. And
absolutely. It's but Mooch, it's been fantastic to see you come through in the last year, because we obviously I think the first time we had you on the show was over 2 years ago. 2 years.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago, something.
Yeah, something like that. I think we were one of the first shows you did. I think Plumes you'd done, and then you were on with us. And
Yeah.
And I think I'm sure all my colleagues will agree. We knew it was something special when you came on, and when you were talking, the way you were talking, how passionately you were talking. And
Thanks, John.
now you have your own show, your own YouTube thing, and it's been massive. And watching you, because obviously I follow you on Reddit as well, and I watch you, and ECR in Reddit is a fucking graveyard of people who've tried. It's such a difficult thing. I don't think anybody's got close to you on Reddit. I really don't. It's a
brutal bunch of people.
Oh my fuck! It's not. It's two camps. It's brutal, and the thickest people on the planet. That is the two camps in there. They're some of the stupidest people in the world, and not.
Reddit's also the home of the people who feel very strongly about what they feel about, whether they're right or wrong. So
there are, but the thing I love about Reddit, and there was the epitome of Reddit was this. There was somebody had done, somebody had put up some pictures, something on our pictures, which is just interesting or whatever pictures, and they posted on their weight loss progress, and they put two pictures. One, they were quite fat, and they'd lost about 3 stone.
That's a lot.
And the top comment was, "You're still pretty fat, and no one fucking cared. Put it on Facebook, fucking loser."
Oh man!
And there was a bit of me just going, "Yeah." No one gives a shit. Tell someone who fucking cares. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that. So but that's the epitome of Reddit. That is every company that's attempted it, or reviewers especially. There's a graveyard of reviewers who've kind of walked that tightrope. But you everybody loves the Mooch, in my mind. On Reddit.
You haven't been to China lately, have you?
No. but on Reddit, well, Vinny has. But on Reddit,
yeah.
They fucking continue.
Well, Kaloshi always keeps saying about the batteries are tested by Mooch. The batteries are tested by Mooch. So they seem to love you still.
If we're talking about Mooch and battery testing, and you've already said you won't answer the question, but I'm going to ask it. The batteries that I assume you're testing for the unnamed supplier, they wouldn't happen to be the new dual carbon replacement lithium cells, would they?
Well, no, that I can say no to.
Okay.
We're generations ahead of that, which is why it's very much in even the pre-testing kind of thing.
Generations ahead of dual carbon. So we're talking about
Hadron Collider stuff.
I thought we were talking about like quantum.
Yeah, it's plutonium based.
Yeah, I mean things like the graphene coated silicon anodes that are just coming to market, or some of the other things now are all nice incremental changes, but there's still the fundamental, what I call defect of the concept, or the fundamental
the chemical battery
insanity of non-aqueous electrolyte, namely something made out of essentially something close to gasoline, paint thinner, for the electrolyte, the fluid inside the battery that's extremely flammable. But also,
is it a solid state?
There's all kinds of stuff out there, isn't there?
I thought I'd eventually find the vein.
It's it doesn't, for me, it doesn't make sense to spend the amount of time, the amount of money to take an incremental step that a lot of other people are already taking it pretty far along.
Yeah.
What you do is you leap way ahead, and you find a way to guide that development, to work with the companies to focus their attention on a particular community and that community's needs and what's important. Because as much as the chemistry is important, the form factor is important. The batteries we use aren't inherently hand grenades, but because they're made to only be used inside a electrically and physically protected battery pack, you've got, that insane design of a positive and negative both on top, protected by a little bit of plastic. That's insanity.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that. So you take a step back and you look at what other things can we change? How far can we go? What's commercially viable? You can do anything. Make a tetrahedron battery, or something like that. Make a battery you have to fold inside out, or whatever. But don't stop and say, well, okay, we'll use 18650s. We'll just make sure when it does explode, you don't also get a fireball with the shrapnel. That's not enough. That's not something I would want to be involved in. That's something I would test the batteries for. But if I'm going to have any kind of development, let's set our sights on 10 years ahead now. And let's look at the regulatory environment. And let's look at all these things that are just coming out of the labs that could be commercially viable. And if they are, let's guide the development to something that maybe we can use, as opposed to the industry creating something and we go, oh, well, could you make something for us? Yeah, we're just a few of us and we're idiots. And we'll sue you if it doesn't work, but could you make something for us?
Can you make something we can hold near our face?
So, we're a small market with monstrous liability issues. So for a manufacturer to start from the beginning, you really got to change what people think is a battery in a way. And there are other steps in between that we're working on with other companies. We'll see what that turns into. Maybe by next summer, we'll have some hints on that. But there's some exciting things, and it's led to a lot less testing. But it's been a good brain break for me and stuff. And I'm starting to sound like an advertisement for the work I do behind the scenes. My apologies taking over the show, please.
We enjoy hearing it.
I think we've got another guest just popped in. Big Tom, Endless Mod.
He's getting smaller, Tom.
Medium Tom.
Medium-sized Tom.
Before we introduce me, can Mooch carry on? Because I love listening to Mooch. So Mooch, please carry on. Please carry on.
No, I'm done. My first album, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
That was literally the first album.
There's an Island album, that for me.
But there's a history with that thing because I don't remember how young I was, whatever, young teen, pre-teenager. And I bought it just because, that Prism. I just loved that simple cover. And I had no idea who they were. And I said, oh, okay, I'll buy this. And I went home, played it, and said, what a pile of shit. This noise, this is some of the worst crap I've ever heard. And I put it away for like 10 years. And I pulled it out and I listened to it. And I was like, my God, this is brilliant. And
in my mind, it's the best album that's ever been made.
Yeah, it's probably the only album that I just love. It's just pretty all the way through. And I still listen to it.
There, is it? No.
I still listen to it all the time. And I like Floyd anyway, but that was interesting. And it's funny, the one I hated the most ended up being the one I loved the most. And it's sort of everything else I bought ended up being the opposite. Everything I bought after Dark Side of the Moon, I loved. And then everything, once I started liking Dark Side of the Moon, I kind of hate it. And I realized I don't like albums anymore. I just like a song here, a song there. Back in it was really, I have a strange music history.
That'll be your Jewish ancestry.
Evidently. It's eating that ham dreidel of yours, God.
So I do have a quick question for you, Mooch.
The bacon gelt you gave me the next year.
So Mooch, you're doing YouTube now, right?
Yes. Yeah. Not often, but when I can.
Have you ever thought about doing anything on Twitch?
No, I haven't. I don't see enough of it on. I get so few people on YouTube. I would get 200 people on Twitch. On there, I can see. You look at pluses and minuses of both of them, and there's some advantages to Twitch. But it's for me. I guess I can take the same video and you just put it anywhere. But I'm so overwhelmed already with doing things. Some people just don't want to read the posts, so I do YouTube for that audience.
The amount of videos. I mean, you will. I'm just looking at your page at the moment.
Not a lot. Nothing recently, certainly.
But 27,000 subscribers.
For a battery nerd, I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
Oh my
amazing.
God, it's incredible. That's absolutely amazing.
But you look at actually, I haven't looked at I don't even know if there are demographics for the countries involved. I'm sure most of it's the U.S., but you get some countries where there's just so little knowledge, like Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, countries like that, where there's nothing but fakes and crappy rewraps, like 3 of them, and that's it. And they all use mechs because you can't get regulated mods there because they're either illegal, so you have to go to a local machine shop to get a mech made, and mechs are just a tradition. And it's kind of important to know about Ohm's law and get a little bit of knowledge about batteries if you're using a mech. And so I find, at least written-wise, that a vast majority of the 150, 200 plus questions a day I get, it's from Asia, from people just like, boy, I've got this mech and I've been using this, 600 amp AWT.
Do you try to answer every one?
Oh yeah, I answer every single one.
Oh fuck me, that's nuts.
It's if you get, well, I mean, that's a lot of why. Whoa. Why is the not squat? Oh, empty bottle. All right, I'll drip. It's a Paradigm vanilla killer. I don't like vanilla wafers too much, actually eating them, but I do like a vanilla wafer vape, which is kind of interesting. Maybe because it's not as sweet. Let's see, a lot of the YouTube videos and certainly the tables were created to try to address, the 100+ questions of the day. They're all the same thing. What's the best battery for fill in the blank? And once they find out, so my answer to a lot of questions are, go to my pinned post, go here, go there,
still
get the table.
That's an incredible thing to do. I mean, I'd get nowhere near that amount of questions. Never have. But even I don't answer them all, and I forget. So fuck.
Well, you find a way to well, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy talking and meeting the people.
How do you do that thing? I just want to know. I need to know. Do you, because you have a Mrs. Mooch, do you?
No. Well, I have a female human.
A female human, but we're going to call that's what we
call her female.
That's what we call the partner.
Are we allowed to call her female?
You don't have to marry to her. I meant your other half.
The small farm animals aren't working out because it's so hard to get feed for here in New York. So,
how do you explain the social media side of it to your better half?
She thinks I'm insane. She's like, "What the hell did I ever do for you?" When you're on that scale. But also, a lot of it, I think it's a good investment in terms of understanding the community you'd like to make a living from.
Absolutely.
Know your customer. If I want to develop something that I might want the community to buy or invest in or be part of, or at least to understand the technology for, I have to understand that community. And the way to do that is find out, what is the community worried about? What does the community want to know more? What does the community misunderstand? What are the myths that everyone believes? Everyone knew EFES were 40 amp batteries 3 years ago. We knew it, and everyone now knows that a silver mech hits 1,000,000 times harder than the copper mech.
Yeah.
No, did you ever look at the conductivity of silver? It's like 10% higher. How can it hit 10 times harder when it's only 10% more conductive, and the mech is only 1/10 of the voltage drop?
Yeah, we all know you need 1 micron of a gold plating, and then they'll just
gold plate everything. Gold plate all the things.
We're gonna have to Tom. We've got to talk to Tom because
because this is a mech maker here with Tom from Endless Mods.
I'm just listening. I've watched the show. I've not come in. I just watched the show because I really enjoyed it. It's been lots of giggles, and Mooch was talking. And I was just listening to Mooch, and Mooch doesn't know.
No, please dive in. I was in 2 phone conferences that I spoke. What was it? 5.25 hours, and I spoke for maybe 80 seconds on all that time. So I've just got all the dialogue. So please, Tom, go ahead. What's your first album you ever bought?
The first album I ever bought, wow, I was 12 or 13, and it was Dr. Dre 2001.
Wow.
Dr. Dre.
It's a great album. Great album.
I still like the old school stuff there.
That's the best, the golden age of hip hop.
The only problem is, though, is I asked my dad if I could play it in the car, and he said, yeah, that's fine. But when I started throwing up the fucking middle finger to every song, he sort of threw the CD out the window.
How's it going over at Endless? Tom, anything new coming up?
Everything's good. I was actually waiting for the question of what's my worst and my best Christmas present.
Yeah, give us that one first. Yeah.
My best was a pair of tickets to see BB King.
Yeah, wicked. Love BB King.
And my worst Christmas present. I have had time to think about this, but I don't think I've really had one. If I'm honest, deadly honest, I don't think I've had a bad Christmas present. I think my parents usually either thought it was good or here's some money.
I'll change that this year, Tom.
We forget the bad Christmas presents. We don't really. They're not memorable, so we don't remember them.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a bad one, if I'm honest. So I can't answer that. But yeah, BB King was definitely one of the best Christmas presents. And I did actually see in the same year I saw Eric Clapton, and I also saw Gary Moore, and this was the year he died as well. So I saw Gary Moore in the same year.
We've got to give you a big coup of one thing. I kind of hinted on it as you joined the show, though, Tom. How much weight have you lost now?
6.5 stone.
Jesus!
Wow!
Bloody hell.
That's 2 Spice Girls.
2 Spice Girls or 1 of me, I think.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, Tom. Nice one.
So,
I did it, but if anybody wants to know how I did it through ill health. I didn't do it through losing weight. I did it through ill health, so that's why I lost it.
Did you give yourself salmonella poisoning?
I know it's public consumption, Tom, but how is the health now? Feel free to tell me to bugger off.
No, it's a lot better than it was. A lot of you may know I do suffer with diabetes. A lot of people do laugh and say it's just anything, yeah. But it's diabetes, and that's what's made me. I believe as well that I stopped fizzy pop. Fizzy pop is a big thing for me.
But Tom, saying I think you've taken something away from yourself by saying that you're. I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you off. But by saying that you've lost weight through ill health, and it's because obviously being diagnosed with diabetes. That's not the same.
Well, he hasn't lost it through ill health. He's decided to lose it because of ill health.
There was no. He's decided to. There's so many people who've got exactly the same condition as Tom who do nothing at all.
Yeah.
You've done incredibly well. I remember seeing you in May this year when I saw you in Birmingham and spoke to you, and you were at the beginning of this, and you didn't know which way to turn, you didn't know what to do, and you didn't know how you were going to do it. The point is, you fucking did it. That's not ill health. That's taking it by the bollocks.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you.
Good point.
Appreciate that.
Good point.
Appreciate that.
You have. You should be proud of yourself, mate. Really.
Absolutely. Sorry to tell you off, but.
Well, I thought you would have said something like "Good Happy Eid" or something like that. With you being racist tonight.
Yeah, that's right. I already saw Riyadh said, "Don't forget to say Happy Eid." Fucking Tom. He's a fucking prick. Yeah, we're well tough. I remember when I saw you at Expo the Return compared to when obviously when I saw you at Expo the first one this year. I was absolutely chuffed to bits to see. Just really.
It's always that's what I go to Expo for. Obviously, we go for business reasons, but I love seeing people that I don't see all the time. So it's always nice to see you guys. And it was really interesting to listen to Vinny because I do want to go to China next year. So it was Vinny's side of China.
Yeah, you should go. Just be careful carrying a camera around filming everything you do because you get some really weird looks.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But no, it is really good. The flight was a killer though, man. 11.5 hours. I didn't sleep at all. What
time? The trick is though, Vinny. What time did you take off?
I left the UK at 9 p.m. 9 p.m.
How pissed were you when you got on?
I was sober.
That's
sober.
That's where you said it right. Where did you take off from? Heathrow?
Yeah, Heathrow.
Right. So you get to Heathrow. You want to go to 3 bells, which is go into departures, top left. Hit 3 bells. Go a couple of 2, 3 large Riojas. Because I'm scared of flying, I assume I'm about to die, so I don't really care that it's 15. You want 3 large Riojas, and then go through. And then, if you can, just before you get on the flight, there's a bar just before. Slam a sambuca, get on the flight. And the second the stewardess asks you want to drink something, drink it. Yeah, and the other one is what they called noise reduction headphones.
Look, you're missing the best one. The main one is work out the time difference when you're landing, and 8 hours before, pop a couple of Tomazepams.
That's the other one.
Yeah, I actually had sleeping tablets, but I ended up leaving them in my checked luggage. So I was on the flight. I was ready. I was thinking, got everything ready. Got my eye patches, whatever it's called, and I got my bag down, and I realised I put everything in my checked luggage. So I was kind of screwed in that point. And I had a couple of coffees in the airport beforehand, so I was just buzzing for the whole flight. But you know what? Something amazing happened. Something amazing happened in the airport. And I mean, I've never got a free upgrade or anything like that. But I'd booked my seat. And I booked the aisle seat. I have to sit in the aisle because otherwise I get up to pee a lot anyway. And I hate getting up past people.
Yeah,
so I'll tend to just sit there longer, uncomfortable, needing to pee, rather than keep getting up. But I was speaking to the woman about upgrading, and I thought there might be premium economy that would only be like maybe £50 more, £100 more. And she looked at me, she went, "Yeah, it's £1,200." And I just stared at her for a minute. I was like, "What?" I don't want to upgrade to first class. She goes, "Yeah, there's no premium economy." So what she done, she actually blocked out the seat next to me. So I thought, oh, well, at least, no one's sitting next to me. I can just like sprawl out on there. But in the flight, because I was filming on the aeroplane, people kept coming up to me asking me if I was a YouTuber, and I was just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just filming it." And then one lad, bless him, he kept coming up and he followed me to the toilet, and then he followed me, and then he followed me back to the seat, and it was talking to me, and he goes, "Oh, can I sit down there?" And I was like, "Yeah, there, that's cool, buddy, you can sit down there." So the blocked out seat only lasted for about an hour.
You had a groupie,
and I didn't have the heart to tell him to move, bless him. So yeah,
I find
that only lasts for a little bit.
If you pee into a bottle while you're sitting down there, you get the whole aisle.
Yeah. Just openly, no blanket. Just If you do it from about 3 feet away,
arc it to 2 seats over into the bottle.
Just pee into the vomit bag they give you. I mean, because it is there. It is there.
Just because it's Christmas, and I'll do a very short John and Nori story, and it's a thing that my wife absolutely hates. I don't understand this, but I mean this. I have no understanding about this, but I am very, very attractive to homosexual airline stewards. I don't know why.
That doesn't surprise me, John. I'm sorry, but that really doesn't.
Sorry, John, did you say that you're attracted to them, or you're attractive to them?
I'm attractive to them.
Okay.
It's got in uniform.
It's gotten worse since I started wearing a wedding ring. It's got even worse. And
they love a wedding ring.
And so when we get on the flight, from the second we get on the flight, my darling wife gets treated like shit, and I get so many drinks, it's ridiculous. I went to the toilet and I came back with 2 Bloody Marys, and she went, "What the fuck did you do?" And I said, "I didn't do anything." I got out of the toilet, and then the guy said, "Do you want a drink?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he said, "You might as well take 2." So I took 2. and then they'll come past the trolley and say, "Would you like did you want a soft drink?" And Shelley will say, "Fuck, I did it again. Do you want a lemonade?" And she'll have a lemonade. And they'll kind of do that thing where they go, "Lemonade." And I'll say, "Do you want a drink?" I'll say, "I have a Diet Coke." And they go, "You have the old can." And they just chuck it in front of me. I really hate you. It's like sitting on a plane with a stripper. Just everybody just, I fucking love it. Yeah, so always halfway through plays I'm drunk as fuck because for some reason I am incredibly attractive to
There may be a post-flight subculture you're missing out on here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's some sort of challenge going on, but I don't really care. I always
So when we go into China, John?
Again, I go every week. No, we used to go to Thai. Me and my wife used to fly to Thailand like twice a year, 3 times a year. So I've done the 12-hour flight. That's how I know what to do, which is you make sure you have enough alcohol in your system.
That's a good tip. I'll definitely try and remember that when I go
Do
back.
the Australia flight, then you'll know what flying's about.
No, I'm never going to Australia.
I've been over that 4 times there and back. Now.
The key is to chill out at the airport before you get on. It really is, and then I've been asleep before we've leveled off, and I woke up as we were circling Bangkok airport, so it's 11.5 hours later.
I can't sleep on a flight. The slightest bump wakes me back up again. It's miserable every 10 minutes.
My pride and joy is I used to live in Sydney and Germany at the same time. So I was doing between 20 and 30 return trips a year, and I got so good at sleeping on that flight. It's like between 12 and 14 hours, depending on the wind. I got so good at sleeping on that flight that I would take my sleeping tablet 4 or 5 hours before and force myself awake onto that plane.
Okay.
I fell asleep on the runway in Sydney before the plane took off, and I woke up to a jolt, thinking that was the plane taking off, and it was actually the plane landing in Durban.
Wow!
I was trying to go back to sleep, and people were standing up to get their luggage. I'm like, "Fuck off! I'm still sleeping. Leave me alone."
I think we need to kind of do some vaping questions for the last.
Yes.
We've got
we better have a quick run through.
5 minutes. Well, 5 minutes left, so let's try and vape related stuff to end on.
Oh, I'll do a quick vape related thing because I did it as an exclusive for the for the Vaguely Vaping Rated podcast, but I'll do it now. That is that Just Had Nick are opening a shop. Unbelievable.
A brick and mortar shop.
A brick and mortar shop.
Congratulations, dude.
Thanks, man.
Well done.
Just down the road. It's like 150 yards that way. We're going to open.
John, where are you actually based?
We're in Suffolk.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
That's up north, Vinny.
Yeah. But he said Suffolk, and I thought sorry, and I was like, that's not too far. And then I realised I was like, no, it's not. It's not
too far from you. It's
get an Uber.
Get an Uber. Yeah. It's yeah. So we're in the little village I live in. We're opening our own store. Yeah, we're going to do to begin with for the first month, probably January. We're just going to do the normal website stuff. And then
it's going to be the new HQ, isn't it? But with a shop underneath.
Yeah, be the shop. The whole ground floor actually. There's I'm going to put all the machinery out the back, and there'll be a shop at the front. I'm moving my coffee machine there.
Serious then?
Oh yes. There's a great bit upstairs which is completely fucking useless, so I'm going to have to turn it just into a lounge because you can't fit anything up the stairs. I can't put any stock up the stairs, and I couldn't. It would be completely illegal for any staff member to go up the stairs because they're deadly. So I'm just going to turn it into another lounge, like a little hat. Like I'm going to put a TV up there, and then just so if my wife wants to pop down and watch TV, she can just watch TV. That's what we're going to do.
You're lying. You're going to put a red room in there, you fucking liar.
What's a red room?
Ooh. It's for the mixes. Google it after the show.
Oh.
It's measured in the swing and everything.
Let's have a really quick Christmas stroke vaping related question to all our guests before we wrap it up. I'll go left, right on my screen. So, Battery Mooch, would you vape a Sprout e-liquid?
sprouts?
Brussels sprout.
Brussels sprout.
Oh, Brussels
e-liquid.
sprouts. I'm thinking the other little. I forgot that those sprouts. Grilled Brussels sprouts. Yeah.
Sounds awful.
Boiled Brussels sprouts? No. You know what? I yes. Only to
Mark Dolan.
I would only so that I could come back on the show and said I did it. Did you bunch of wimps try it?
Mark, Brussels sprout e-liquid. Yes or no?
If it had got bacon and butter on, yes. Without
Ooh,
it, fuck no. Without it.
Excellent. Brad.
I, much like Mooch, I would only vape it so that I could say I had done it and that everyone else hadn't. Because, my God, I can only imagine how terrible it would be.
Medium, Tom?
Is it a vegetable?
Is he now psychic? Are you psychic now, Tom? You're medium Tom.
Derek Decora's outside waiting to come in, don't you worry about that. Brussels sprout, it's a vegetable, definitely not. Do I look like I eat vegetables?
You do now, medium Tom. You do now.
No,
Okay.
definitely not. Not even around and say, "As you wimps done it." No, not a chance. No. Just not.
Brussels sprout e-liquid.
Brussels sprout. See, I thought you were going to say Christmas. I would say yams. I would go with yams.
Oh, Brussels sprouts is totally
Brussels
Christmas.
sprouts. I think. See, I would same answer as them. I would do it just for bragging rights, just to say like, yeah, I've tried that.
Cool. John.
I'm with them. I would do it for exactly that. I would take that. I'd lung hit it. I'd lung
24 milligrams.
Yeah. Salt Nick Brussels sprouts.
You got to add some seasoning to their Brussels sprouts. Rick.
I would do a massive hit.
No.
No. Vinny.
Has anyone got any Brussels sprout e-liquid?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I am going to do it
I'll
next
do it.
year. I will do it next year.
I would do it. I would do it. But there's no room in vaping for a savoury vape. I'm sorry.
I like the fact that Vinny committed after he found out it didn't exist.
You got to have a plan of action first.
We can make one. We know some people, Vinny. We'll get you some.
Do you know what? I actually really like Brussels sprouts, and I never understood what people's problem was with it because it's like a little miniature cabbage you can fit in your mouth at once.
It's not sweet like a cabbage.
Or yeah, well,
That's
I
why
think
you
I'll try it.
have to grill it. You have to grill it. It's so bitter otherwise. Boiled Brussels sprouts is a crime against humanity. Just
Maybe with a little bit of coolager in there, it might work.
Oh, good grief, Vinny, man.
You know, cucumber's really popular. Who knows?
Yeah.
Rich.
No, but there is other Christmas things I would try.
Like
Stuffing.
Oh, stuffing.
Gravy.
I want to hear Richard
really
do.
nice juice.
I want to hear Richard do stuffing with the question at the end. I really like it.
Stuffing.
Australian. That's the Australian Richard.
It was really
Stuffing.
good. He's really-
Stuffing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe cranberry.
Cranberry.
Oh, good shout.
Yeah,
Good shout,
nice.
yeah.
It's a berry. It's a berry of sorts.
make it very tart. Make it a tart vape.
Yeah.
And because I didn't get to do it, my Christmas drink is Bailey's.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Finish
Bailey's
Christmas Day
from
on
a
a
shoe.
Bailey's. Yeah.
Oh,
we've got this good. I've kind of that those things you do to placate your better half. So Christmas morning, my idea is wake up early. I'm going to make eggs Benedict.
Yeah,
I
I don't have them anymore.
Nope. John's
Yes.
gone. So other people have gone as well.
Is that our Christmas gift?
Was that everyone's fucked off? That was really weird.
It just, you
Where'd
just
everybody go?
disappeared.
The whole south of England just went.
I think your prime minister is pissed off about what you're talking about.
No one mentioned Brexit.
The referendum was today.
I got a card and I got a present today in the post, and Colin Alvin sent me a lovely card, thanked me for everything I do for vaping. I don't know what I do, but he sent me a card and he sent me a Cali RDA.
Is that on the Vindicator?
I've got it on the Vindicator, yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful mic.
Yeah, it's nice. And this tell you what, good Atty. Got this Cali RDA called up with a couple of fuse claptons in there. Spot on. So thank you ever so much, Colin. That was I didn't well up, but I was very happy.
Are we all just squeezing stuff in? I've got fucking news and everything, man. I've prepped for this
No.
show.
Let's do a tribe for Tarbar to end up with. Come on, let's do a tribe.
No, we haven't got time for tribe for Tarbar. It's 11. We'll leave it for the new year.
Okay.
So no show next week. We should say that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we're
No
going to
show
be
next
off for
week.
Christmas. Well, I'd like to thank all the guests for coming on. Thank you, fellas, and everyone who came on before, and all you lot that didn't come on after.
Yeah. Oh, it's really, really cool. We didn't know who Rick didn't tell us who was coming on tonight.
He did not.
So we had no idea who was coming on tonight.
Did a brilliant job, Rick.
Without exception, Rick did an incredible job, and you're all fucking awesome. Everybody turned up. It was absolutely.
Well, Rick, thanks for inviting me, dude. That was really, really cool.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And thanks for having me, guys.
Individually and properly and stuff in the future.
Yeah, well, thanks ever so much for that's it. That's been the Ideal Home Show. Thanks ever so much, all of you guests and everyone for watching. Have a wonderful Christmas. We love you all. Home is rock. And we'll see you probably in the new year now. Yes. Is that right?
Merry Christmas.
So no show next week, and the week after that, it's the Ideal Home Show Awards 2018.
Okay, the awards. We'll see you then.
See you then. Bye bye.
See you next.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, everybody.